every single corner.
So some of the drivers who in this race earlier are actually over in the chat right now on Twitch, and would love to see.
Boost city, boost, boost.
Okay, just before the race car changes. Are you with me, Johnny?
What's up? I'm here.
So did you make some changes?
Oh, no.
Oh, I did my usual.
Gas is all I did. I'm not ready to... I'm not sure I like what I got, but I'm not about to change it now.
That was a 1:20.11.
Oh, he didn't make the inevitable mistake I did.
Go in the pits, get it fixed.
Nah, I'm gonna park it after that stunt.
Yeah, fix it.
I'm already out. Wrong marker.
8.84.
Wasn't even that close to him. I certainly wasn't trying to pass him. I read the wrong marker. Unbelievable. Oh. Well, he's got a pit for a front end, so I ruined his race pretty badly. Hope I didn't get too many of the rest of you.
That was a 58.01.
Jay's about to blow up.
Yep.
How did you manage that? You overclock it, slowing down?
No, I little radiator and covered her up a bit, try to get a little more heat. Obviously it was too much.
Yeah.
That was a 58.20.
Well,
That was a 58.49.
I had to turn the boost way down, Troy. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with you. Come on, numbnuts. Be careful with Johnny when he come by me.
What's that?
Go on by. I've lost my front end of that.
All right,
car.
that was a 59.13.
Sorry, Darren.
No harm, no foul.
That was a 59.15. That was a 58.03.
Is that car running, Jay?
Yeah, I should be good now. I got a new front end and all that, so we'll see. Darren, when you're ready to pass, just tell me.
All right.
That was a 58.48.
Maybe shouldn't have done that.
Awkward.
That was a 102.
Go ahead by here, Jay. I know I'm holding you up.
I know where. Jump in, grab some draft.
That was a 57.88. That was a 58.03.
Johnny, let me know if you feel like I'm holding you up at all.
Nope, just roasting my tires trying to chase you.
That was a 57.82. That was a 58.52. That was a 58.96.
Coming up on you, Joe. Coming under you.
Good.
That was a 59.76.
You good there, Paul?
That was perfect.
All right, that was a 58.34. That was a 58.03. That was a 58.15. That was a 58.95.
All right, Joe.
That was a 107.12. That was a 145.53. 57.97.
And you guys are awfully quiet tonight.
Concentration, my man.
Yeah, this one takes a touch more.
This is actually my one of my most favorite tracks.
That was a 101.80.
Greg, if you're in here, you should run on by me. I'm wrecked to death. That's alright. Father is trying to make up ground. I'm like I'm riding around on Maypops right now.
That was a 105.16.
Nice one, guys. That's fun.
That was too much like a good wedding rehearsal. I feel like the real thing's going to be a disaster.
Nice.
Oh, no, I got that out of my system, he said, hopefully.
Well, I did learn some places to get out of the way when the prototypes are going by. That was the number one thing I wanted to do tonight.
Nice.
It's a tricky track, man. Real tricky.
Well, I'll tell you, that setup advice was a huge help. I was a lot more stable under braking this time. That's great, and thank you very much.
Just that differential change?
That's it. That was the only change I made. In fact, I think I'm going to push my brakes back a little bit to help me turn in a little bit better, because now I'm not so crazy under braking.
Well, you know, you might fiddle with it a bit more. I personally would advise, I think there's an advantage to having them the same on both sides, but if you don't have them the same, I think there's similarly an advantage to having them maybe really close so that the transition isn't that obvious.
Well,
What'd you
I
find
never-
out? What'd you race? A 60-40?
Yeah. I never knew that it really mattered how much difference there was between them. I mean, I knew what each one was for separately, but I didn't know that there was connection between the two of them.
Well, the only connection is the fact that you're in either one or the other. So when there's a transition, the car suddenly changes its characteristics and its character, really, and that's what gets you out as much as anything else. Plus, you also have that, like I said, you go into braking. If you brake and lift at roughly the same moment, you've changed two things at once. You've changed the weight distribution of the car. You've got all the weight on the front tires suddenly, and you've also got the differential into coast. So you've done something pretty dramatic. And I don't know, setup wise, I think if you can do it a little bit less dramatic, you're better off for it. Whatever it is.
Yeah, one thing for sure. That's one more thing I'm going to file in my little setup logbook. I learned something tonight too. That's great.
Bump that thing down to a 50, it'll probably even jump off that corner a little better for you.
Well, I would have to say that rFactor does not act the way real-world numbers. rFactor 1, anyway, doesn't act the way... I don't think it acts the way a differential does in the real world. So, you know, the car that I'm driving, unless well, it's possible I don't know something, but the classic split was about a 75 or 70% locking diff on both sides. And that was what was run for many years as kind of an ideal trade-off. But, you know, we're running like 50 or 40 down here, and it's working, and I think it's partly because of the traction control stuff that they didn't have back then.
Yeah, I'm running high traction control at this track.
Hey there, Troy.
Check that. Where do we find out where we're at on that?
Traction control?
Yeah.
You just, whatever control
What did he have to
you're
say,
using
Zane?
for it, I think if you scroll through your HUD, you'll see a page that shows you which ones you have enabled or not. And I think the light, the brightness of the light will tell you. That's one way. The other way is, of course, you just cycle through it. You know, hit low, medium, high, and then off, and low, medium, high, and off, and then you just click the number that you want. And
I
leave
can't
it there.
remember if I'm even using it. I used to never use it. I remember that, and then at one point I turned it on, but I don't remember
If you're not using it, you're doing something astounding to me. But then I'm the guy who completely forgot about boost, or forgot to check that he even had boost on, so what do I know?
Yeah, I saw you miss that first braking point. You're normally stopping, you're hitting your brakes normally just before that 100 marker, and you went well beyond it.
Oh yeah. No, I must have looked down. I've been replaying it there for about 10 minutes after I did it, and I think I looked up and I saw the 150, and I think I must have looked down just to make sure that I wasn't too close to him. And the next thing I do, I look up and there's, I don't know if it says 75. No, I don't think it says 75. I think it says 50, and I go, oh shit! I just sailed blindly right on past the 100 marker and never even was clued in. So he had no chance.
Hey, while we got everybody here, could I get a consensus on the way we ought to handle the pit exit blend line and turn one? Do you think everybody ought to just be able to go all the way over to the wall, or do you think we ought to respect the blend line?
Well,
Chris has a great explanation about that.
yeah, the blend line is intended to control only the cars coming out of the pits. They're not supposed to put any tires, any wheels or any tires anywhere on that line. They have to go all the way past the end of it with all 4 tires. The other cars, I think, have the full right to the width of the straight as long as there's no one, and they even do if there's someone coming out of the pits. It's just that the purpose of the blend line is that the approaching car on a lap knows what the requirements are for the car exiting the pits, and he just comes up the inside and goes right on by, and everything's fine. But otherwise, I see no I see no reason that car on an open lap can't use the full width of the track. I don't think it restricts him in any way. But, you know, Eric is the guy who's going to have the ultimate say in it, and I need to PM him about it.
I agree. I think you should be able to use all the track there that you want. The guys exiting from the pits, it's their responsibility to merge safely.
So do you think then that people should be able to go all the way to the left with the caveat that if they hit somebody coming out of the pits, it's on them? Or even if they hit somebody, should the person coming out of the pits be responsible for making sure he doesn't drive into somebody?
Well, it's improperly called a blend line for one thing, because it really isn't. It's a line that controls the cars coming out of the pits. They're the ones who have to stay fully off that line and in that lane all the way to the end.
It's like
So,
their
I think
acceleration
what he's
line.
asking, Chris, is that if I, for an example, I'm coming down that straightaway and I jump way over by that wall and somebody's coming out of the pits and I whack them, that should be on me.
Yes, agreed. Now, what it does do is when a car is coming out of the pits and he's on the left side of that line, it puts an onus on the approaching car to adjust his behavior because of the existence of the car exiting the pits.
And the guy exiting the pit should be safe as long as he's to the left of the blend line.
That's right, exactly. He has a right to be able to get out and up to speed too, and then blend in at the corner. So the car approaching has to adjust his behavior when there's a car exiting the pits in that lane, I think. And that's when, you know, the other car has a responsibility to, you know, he can cross the line maybe, but he can't run the exiting car over. He just has the purpose of the line is to give him an adjustment point to know that the exiting car will not.
Thou shalt not pass.
The exiting car will not move to the inside before he reaches the end of that line, and that gives the approaching car on a normal lap, I think, the ability to control the corner.
So I got one thing. Who the hell invited Greg to the P2 party tonight, man? Where the hell did he come from with that time?
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, great.
Crazy fast.
Yeah, crazy
Oh
fast.
my God, that was nuts.
Hey, if he can drive as good as he can in an LMPC, he can probably make a P2 just talk.
Well, he sure was. He did, exactly. And I think he's got more, but
I don't.
I mean, you hope you don't. I hope he doesn't, right?
I got nothing else. That's all I got.
I don't know what you're doing, Troy, as far as like running the full width of the track into turn one. I find it just makes natural sense. You know, I turn in anyway, right about the part where that wall. I was telling Johnny last night where the wall on the left it turns orange. That the front edge of the orange, that's my turn-in point, and that's also the point where the wall kind of takes that bend to the right, and it kind of shoves you off there anyway. And
Yeah, don't turn in late.
Yeah, you would definitely. You're definitely going wider earlier than I do. I crossed the line there, the pit exit line, but I'm more in the groove. I think, you know, in the racing groove. I think if you have to stay to the inside of that line, it really is going to pinch that first turn.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm right about where the start finish line is. That's about where I'm crossing over that blend line and kind of trying to arc that corner.
I'm not sure that I'm really thinking about it. I'm just kind of pointing at the wall out there, and I point to the left of the orange portion at the end. So I point to the left, and then I kind of get near the wall and straighten it out and run along it for a while, and then turn back in. But to me, it makes the turn one have more sense. You know, just intuitively makes more sense to me. But you know, Eric, what Eric decides about it is what's going to rule. So.
Well, how do they do it pro-wise?
Well, pro-wise, they don't have a lot of problems because, for one thing, the black tire line the black primary line that you see on the pavement, that line is the only clean line So whatever the clean line is, that's what everybody runs because you want to keep the tires in good shape.
I'm just
On
saying
re-
getting out of the